Land is very, very central to the process of ensuring that the masses of our people are properly empowered economically. And as you know, our commitment as the ANC on issue of the restoration of land to our people has been very, very consistent. And hence we have been revisiting our policies on this matter from time to time. Remember, we had the provision of willing buyer, willing seller at the beginning. We had to abandon that because we realized that it was moving with a very, very slow pace. But the result of the matter is that for us to effect the necessary changes in terms of dealing with this issue of the land, as you have correctly cited, we need the majority of members of parliament on our side. But what we are saying as the NEC of MKMVA is that let's work with other parties, but everything that we do must be within the confines of the Constitution. We are not going to encourage a situation whereby there is no proper consultation, there is no proper engagement between participants in Parliament or members of Parliament. We are not going to take shortcuts as we deal with this serious issue. But also, we are not going to do anything unconstitutional. So that simply suggests, irrespective of political affiliation, we will need the support of all those, who must vote in favor of us to give effect to this particular undertaking. So exactly, it can be EFF, it can be DA if they agree, which I doubt, it can be APC and all other parties that are participating in Parliament. We will need a robust and constructive engagement among ourselves as the ANC, but also we will need a very, very constructive engagement with other parties in Parliament so as we are able to deal with this matter in a very appropriate and constitutionally acceptable manner, not the shortcut approach that we have just seen recently in Parliament. We need thorough engagement among parties on this issue.
Well, for more on that story, a reporter Nthoakane Ngatane joins us now in studio. Very good afternoon to you, Nthoakane. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, so much was discussed in that briefing, as we've seen, and including bank corruption and calls for the review of the ANC constitution to give way for the radical economic transformation drive. So what other issues have been discussed there? Well,
essentially that they've moved their conference that was supposed to be held in October down to May the 25th to the 28th, but also that you know that there have been divisions where there was the MK National Council on the one side and the MKMVA NEC, and they're saying that they will engage the National Council, but the condition is that that engagement should recognize the constitutional structures of the MKMVA. You have also mentioned the issue of the review of the constitution of the country to favor radical economic transformation in the country. And if I can just quote them saying that freedom without land is not freedom, and freedom without economic empowerment is not freedom. And also the other issue that came out...
on the issue of the radical economic transformation, what's exactly their standpoint or their stance towards that issue?
Well, they're talking specifically about mining rights and communities that are affected by mining and previously disadvantaged groups in South Africa. They're also talking about the issue, as you've mentioned, the issue of banks in terms of colluding and white monopoly in general in South Africa.
All right. Now, on the issue of the succession debate, which has been in every political party's lips, what's their position?
On the issue of?
Of the succession debate within the ANC.
They are saying that they want to go to their policy conference, particularly the one in June, as a united front. The main challenge at the moment, they agree that the ANC is losing support. They agree that there are divisions within the movement, and they want to now deploy MKMVA veterans on the ground to ensure that service delivery happens, that the MKMVA veterans engage with communities on the ground to ensure that ANC regains the support that it seems to be losing, but specifically with the leadership to ensure that there is unity within the movement, but unity also within their alliance partners.
Now, it is common cause that the ANC Women's League and the Youth League, we know who they are supporting. So any hints, perhaps, of what the MKMVA are supporting in this particular drive?
Well, they didn't come out clearly to say, but as I say, they're saying that they do not want to see the divisions that are currently happening. They're seeing the succession debate as dividing the ANC as opposed to uniting it, and this is causing a comrade-to-comrade friction, if you like, within the movement, and they would like to lobby as the MKMVA so that going to the policy conference and going to the 2017 conference, they see the ANC as united, even if it has to deal with issues of policy and issues of leadership.
All right, Nthoakane, thank you so much for joining us.
Okay.
That was a reporter, Nthoakane Ngatane, speaking to us live in our Johannesburg studios and commenting about the press briefing that was held by the MKMVA a little earlier on this